In this part of our lecture series, we will try to cover the database operations. In our previous lecture, we already have the user interface designed in Bootstrap Studio, and we already designed a database. We talk about how to manage users, databases, and how to create tables, insert data, delete data, update data using PHP MyAdmin. So we have the basic knowledge of handling user, databases, and tables. And we also talk about in our previous lecture that the websites and the databases, they talk to each other, they send data to each other and get information from each other. So how they talk to each other, how they communicate with each other, for this purpose we need a language which is called SQL, structured query language. So dynamically, when a web page communicate with a database, they use SQL language, and we have covered this one also in detail in our previous lecture. All the queries, we have almost covered everything there. Now in today's lecture, we will talk about how to use PHP and MySQLi to communicate with each other, and how to connect to a database, how to delete data, how to insert data, how to update data, and so on. Okay, so for this purpose, we already have the template designed in Bootstrap Studio. Now let's come to our PHP. And so first of all, you should make sure that your XAMPP server is running. In my case, it is running here. So XAMPP server must be running. And now our structure is like this: that in XAMPP, uh, yeah, in XAMPP htdocs, we have our inventory folder. In this inventory folder, I just copy and paste all the files from Bootstrap Studio. I didn't change anything, I just copy and paste. So this is our front end user interface design in Bootstrap Studio. All the files are here, and I also have the database. So this is PHP MyAdmin, we have covered in detail. So I have this laboratory inventory system database. Inside this database, I have also created a user with my name, uh, on localhost, and it having a password. It has all privileges, so we can create, we can update, we can delete everything. So the server name is localhost, the username is Rahman, and password is 1234, just for testing purpose. Okay, and inside this laboratory inventory system, I will use this equipment table. So in this equipment table, if you click on this, you see it is just some basic data. Okay, so this equipment table has these columns. It has ID, name of the equipment, model of the equipment, and release year of the equipment, and person in charge, that who is taking care of these equipments, and description of the equipment. So using this database and the front end, if we go to here and type in uh, localhost inventory and index.html, index.html, so we will get this page. This is the basic page that uh, we got from Bootstrap Studio. Now first of all, we will change all the links. So you see here, they are like add new, you see all these, and edit, delete, show inventory. So you see, this is all the basic thing. So let's go and change all these links for and the page extensions from HTML to PHP, because we need PHP code inside all these pages. We will use it all PHP code, so the extension should be changed to PHP. Okay, so let's go to our, this is the basic template in Visual Studio Code. So here, these are all the pages. Add.html. So here, in this page, I will search all the references to the pages, and I will change the extension to from HTML to PHP. So let's search like add.html. Okay, so we got two links, two occurrences. So here we should change everyone: index.html to index.php, view.html to view.php, add.html to add.php, and PHP. Another one is here. So this one view dot PHP. I hope done. Okay, so if we check here in the links, then let's go and change here in the inventory also. So this should be add dot PHP index dot PHP. And view dot PHP. Okay, if we check now, hopefully we can see new. Yes, is oh, it should be. I think it's PHP. Yeah, it's the same thing. It has some cache memory, so it get from that. So PHP is working. Yeah, view.php is working. Yeah, so these basic operations we will do, and we change all those um, to to PHP. Okay, now I change all the .html extensions to .php. Hopefully, I completed everyone. Mm. So I have changed all the .html extension to .php. Okay, now let's have a look on this add new .php. So you see here is a text input, password input, email input, text area input, and so on. So meaning to say the fields are not related to our database, because in our database we have ID, but the ID is auto increment, so we no need to insert from the form. So we need a name, a company model, uh, year release, person in charge. So we need these informations. So let's change here all these informations, and even the fields also are related to that. So here we need to change these informations. Okay, so this one, you see the first one is input. Okay, first of all, this one, the form class equal to this, and method equal to post. We will change to post, method equal to post, and action equal to add.php to the same page, PHP. Okay, now after that we will change all the fields according to our need, like input from control type equal to text, ID equal to so I will change the ID to name, because the first one I need as a name. Name equal to, we can change to equipment name, equip to bit equip underscore name dash. Okay, password we don't need. Okay, so at this moment I will delete this. Control C. Okay, email we don't need. So I will just do copy this one, because I have already changed, and most of our fields are text. So input type equal to text. Oh, the okay, this one will become name of equipment. This one will become model of the equipment. And here I will change the type equal to text, name equal to equipment model. I will copy this to use every time, equipment model, and name I will also change to model. Okay, so in this way I will change all these text and the fields. So I change all the fields from the basic template to the fields that we need. We need one name of the equipment, model of equipment, and a release year, person in charge, and description. So I change all these fields like that. Okay. So if we look at the display, so you see this is the previous display. If I just refresh the page, all these fields will change according to our need, what we want. You see, name of equipment, model of equipment, and so on. And I change the button name from button to save. Now when we type something here, like for example monitor, okay, a model of equipment, let's suppose Samsung, okay, a year 2022, person in charge, let's suppose me, description, let's suppose it belongs to Unimas. Now if I click save, okay, it will the data should go to the database. So how the data will go to a database, how this page will communicate with the database, we need a connection with database. Okay, we should change this one also. Let's change, okay, yeah, let's change this one also quickly. Add information of the new equipment. Okay, now when this page communicate with the database to store, if I refresh it, it add information of the new equipment. So when I click the save button, the data should go to that equipment table. But for this purpose, we need a proper information of the database. You know, the what server, where is the database, meaning to say the server name, what database, because MySQL may have hundreds and thousands of databases. Okay, so what database should be connected, and within a database to what table it should be connected. So for this purpose, I created some basic functions. I will show you those functions. So if you go to this one, here is in include folder. You see here in this include folder, I just created few functions. Let me show you what are these functions. So first of all, DB credentials. These are the basic information, as I told you, that where is the database and which computer is it. So it is on localhost in our case. Who is the username, which user will deal with this database. So the user, as I told you at the beginning, my name and password is this one, and the database name is this one. So these four informations are necessary if a page want to connect to a database. So this is DB credentials. The next one, database. Okay, so the database one is very simple. You see, I just included the DB credential here because every time we need, so we cannot type again and again. So just I save in a one file and just include in one line. And after that, a function, I created a function, and in this function, this variable, this is a common variable just with the name of connection, and my SQLi function connect. Okay, and these requires all the four information: the server name that we have defined in this db credential.php, the username, the password, and the database name. So this will connect to this one, and we can confirm also that confirm DB connection. So you see DB confirm DB connection is here. It checks that if there is an error while connecting, that you display this message, this message will be stored. Okay, and the MySQL system error, and in this way we can return the error from the connection if there is any error. Otherwise it will confirm it. Okay, and then will return to us the connection variable, and this connection variable has now all the information how to connect to a database. So we will use this information everywhere. Okay, and this connection variable will help us to do all the operations. Okay, so this is a very basic connection function, and just connect and disconnect. So you see, in case of disconnect, it is just close MySQLi close, and which connection should be closed? This connection that we have created here. Okay, so the basic thing, connect and disconnect, and this one is just to escape the extra characters in our data if they exist, and we can confirm the database connection. Okay, and this one is just to confirm a result set. So when we run a query, it will get a result set, so we can check that if the result set exists, meaning to say the query successful. So we will use few these functions. Another one is query functions. Okay, query functions. So in query functions, you see these are the basic of queries that we need. If you remember, we have already covered all these, the select queries. So you see this function find all equipment whenever we need all equipment. So you see in this function I retrieve the global DB. Okay, and this global DB is here. You see, if you look at initialize.php here, yeah, so you see in this initialize.php all these functions are included, and here we create uh, a DB connect, and once it connects successfully, it will give us the connection variable. Like in a previous case, this is exactly like this one. Okay, so you see DB connect, and the this will connection variable will be returned, and that will be stored here. So here in the query functions, we just retrieve this variable. Okay, so find all equipments. So select everything from equipment table ordered by name in ascending order, and then so this is the query that we created, and now this query will run MySQLi query, the database information and the query informations, and this query will run. So now we are checking that this query successfully run or not. So confirm result set. This function we have already defined. I show you. So this function will return us the query. Okay, and later on we can use this variable and we can process the data inside it. So if we want all equipment, this function. If we want some specific equipment, then this function find equipment by ID, we will send the ID to it. So the query is only here where ID equal to this ID. Okay, and in the same way run the query, confirm the query. Okay, and after that MySQLi fetch associate array from this result set, so it will return this equipment to us. Okay, so we can find by ID also, we can find all also, and in the same way we can insert equipment. So insert into equipment, names of the table, you see name of the table, and then values, and then these values we will send this array, and from this array you see all these values will be inserted here in the values field. And finally this MySQL variable, the SQL variable, the query will be generated. If you want to check the what query is generated, you can just uncheck for debugging purpose, then you can see what query is generated. Okay, now this query will run and will insert all the equipments to the database. So insert, in the same way update, we have already covered this one. We will send the array, and from this array all the values will be retrieved here. MySQL SQL variable, the query will be generated automatically, and this query will run against the database, and if result, then it will return true to us. If not, then it will return us the error message. In the same way, delete from a database. So delete equipment. So you see delete from equipment where ID equal to this one, because we will send the ID to this function, and in this way it will also run. If the successful, it will return as true, otherwise error message. So basic functions, find, update, so meaning to say like select query, update query, delete query, and insert query. These basic functions I have defined here, and we will use in whenever we need. Okay, so now if we go to the add.php, so here we actually need these functions. Okay, so if we need this function, this page should be connected to a database that we could apply the operation. So for this purpose, I will start a PHP block. Okay, in this PHP block, I will include the initialize function. So because you see this file, you see in this file all the functions that we have created all are included. So if we type every time one by one, then why not store all in one file and just include one time? And if you see, these files are inside include directory. So how to include? Here in the add.php, we will type require once. Okay, this is PHP function, so require once. So what you want to include? in single quotes, it is include folder. Okay, and inside the include folder we want initialize.php. okay, so this, when this is included, then all the functions, all the database connections we already got here at this page. Okay, after this, now we can do many operations. So the one very basic thing and very important one, we should start a session. So just to start a session, we can actually check that if it is already started, then should not be start, otherwise we should start. If a session status, session not this status, yeah, if session status equal to php session none, meaning to say it is not started. Okay, php php session underscore none. Okay, meaning to say the session is not started, then we should start. So session start. Okay, so this one we should start the session, because on the basis of this later on we can control users and we can keep an eye on the users who is doing what. Okay, now we need to check. You see, our target is what? Our target is this one, that if we type something here and we click save button, then this data should go to the database. So how to do all these operations? Now we will check that if the save button has been clicked, then the form method is post. Okay, so we can check that if $sign underscore post, yeah, okay, so if is set is a php function, and we can check that if this $sign post array, if this $sign post array has been clicked. Okay, so in this is set function, we can check that if $sign underscore post save is set, sorry, this should be in single quote, save. So where is save? If you go here and check, the button name is, I changed the button name to save. Okay, here. So if this button and all this information will be stored in the global $sign underscore post array. So if this one is there, okay, then we can check if is set. Okay, if is set this one, then meaning to say the user has already clicked the save button. Okay, so if the user has already saved button, then all the values are stored in this $sign underscore post array. So we should read all these values and store in an array, and we will send that array to the database function. So let's create an array $sign equipment. This is the just array name. Okay, to create an empty array in PHP, this is the syntax. Now we will read values from here and we'll store in this array. So $sign equipment, which one? The name, $sign equipment name equal to $sign underscore post equip name. So this will be that name that you have given here. Note the point that you will must use the same spelling and the same name. You see this equip name. Okay, so if you remember, so okay, so this will be the equip name. Another one I will just copy and paste. So the second one is equipment model. I should change this one also to this, because it will be easy for us and no confusion. Equipment name and equipment model. Let me copy this. Equipment model, and here will be also equipment model. Okay, next one is the release year. Okay, so this one equip year and equip year. These names should be the same that we have given in the file field. Okay, so in this way, Okay, actually you can use also like this, that if this is set, then we can use a tertiary operator conditional statement, that if it has a value then this should be assigned. If it doesn't have a value, then in PHP we can assign empty text. Okay, so if this has a value, then the value should be assigned, otherwise empty text should be assigned. Okay, so let's copy this again, and next one, so equipment description, and this one equipment description. Now we read all the values from the $_post array to our own array, equipment array. Now we can actually call the function, the insert function that we have here, this one, insert equip, you see, and we will send this array to this function. So now we can send to this one, and you see this function is returning as a variable, returning as a variable. Yeah, so we should assign this variable to here also, or maybe I can use the same variable name here. So $result equal to insert equipment. Okay, insert equipment. So this is the function name that we have already defined, and this is the array name that we generated here, and we will send to the function. So we already sent to the function. Now we will check that if this query runs successfully, then we can display a message to a user. So I have a bit already text I will explain to you. So let me show you this one, that you see, if this result true, meaning to say the query runs successfully and the record is inserted. So I just want to create a message at a record successfully saved, and after that I want to create JavaScript dialog box, like successful dialog box, so to show us like it's actually alert message to display the message for us. So using PHP I am creating a script type equal to JavaScript, and alert message, the message that we created here, that will be displayed. Okay, so if this query runs successfully, this message will be displayed. Okay, if this query doesn't run successfully, then in the case of else, we will have the error message return, and we can create our own error message also, like oops, record not saved, and the error which is returned from the function to us. Okay, you can see here this error. Okay, it will return the error, so we can add this one also, and then can display the message again, and then return using this window.location.href equal to JavaScript history dot back. So to which page you want to go back, like if you want to go to the same page, then 0. If you want to go to one previous page, then 1. If you want to go 2 previous pages, then 2, and so on. So this if else structure only display us the success message. So let's check that is it working or not. So let's go to the page now. So equipment, let's suppose monitor. Okay, model of the monitor is, let's suppose, HP, and release year 2022. Person in charge is, let's suppose, me, and description, this belongs to Unimas. Okay, now I will click the save button. Let's see that the data go to the database or not. Oh, there is some problem. So let's see how to check what is the problem. Okay, to check the problem, let's go here and let me uncomment this, then we can see what's the problem. This is a debugging procedure. So let's check, yeah, all these things. Click save. Oh, there is one problem. Undefined array key person, equip person. So somewhere is spelling mistake here on line 31, and this query is generated for us. Insert into equipment name, company model, release year, person in charge, description, values. This is text message in double quotation HP. This, yeah, should be okay. The only problem is this one at line 37, and in a query function. So in the function we have used equip person, And here in the code we have used oh, equip person we didn't include it here. You see name, model, year, and we didn't include it. So let's check it is at which position after model, release, year. After the year should be person in charge. Okay, so here should be a person in charge. We forgot this one. So equip person. Okay, and here should be the same value that we the same name that we have used there, person. Okay, hopefully now will work. Okay, let's go back. I still don't want to uncomment yet to see the values. So let me go back. I will get all the values. So save. So you see record successfully saved, and now no error message, and this was the query generated for us. Okay, so the dynamic query here, here in function query. So I don't need anymore, so I will comment because I got what was the error and how to fix it. Now if we want to see here, you see in this database until now are 4 record. If I refresh it, it will get 1. The 2 records are already entered. The first one, this one was the blank text, because we have created here that if nothing, then blank text should be added here. So in this way, we can insert data to a database. Let's have a quick summary once again. So this is add.php. In this add.php, I already changed all the fields according to our requirements, name of the equipment, model of the equipment, and so on. Okay, and here are the names. You see equipment name, equipment model, equipment year, equipment person, and equipment description. So these names will be actually stored in the $_ post array. Okay, so when we click this button, submit button, save, when we click this save button, then the data will be submitted to the same form because we have used the same form name. So if it is submitted to the same form, this is just about the session and initialization, and here we can check that if the button has been clicked, then create an array and read from all the values from the $post array into our own array. And once we read all the value in store in this equipment array, we call this function and send this array as an argument. This is this function. You see insert function, we send the array, and here from this array we are generating, you see these are the names of the table, and values are here in this equipment array. From this equipment array, this db escape is actually trimming the values if there are any leading spaces or after spaces. So this is just trimming the values and generating the query dynamically. Okay, and after that run the query. If the query is successful, then it result to us, it return to us. Okay, it returned true. Okay, now we already we can return. So if this query runs successfully, we can check that if the result equal to true. Okay, meaning to say that the query the data already inserted, then we can display a JavaScript alert message to show that the data is saved or not saved. Okay, so let's try one more record quickly. Then this one, let's suppose I will type mouse, model of equipment, let's suppose HP, release year 2022, person in charge, anyone, and description, this belongs to Unimas. Okay, and click save. You see record successfully saved, and in this way we can save as many records as we want. So you see mouse is included, anyone is the person. The next step is to view this data, whatever data we have inserted into a database in this table. So if we want to display here and on the website page, so if I click this view inventory, so you see it's the previous dummy data. So now how to replace all these values and read data from a database and display here. Let's go to view.php. So you see it's the same thing, nothing. I have just changed the links there. Now we need to change according to the dynamic data. So first of all, at the beginning, I will insert the PHP block that we need some coding to read data from a database. So here we will include that one. So you see the benefit of functions is that once we have created, you see now we can easily copy and paste from here this basic thing. So the initialize page will be included, and this will have all the functions are already included now because all functions are inside this. Okay, now and it check the session also. We are not using session in this lecture, but it is a good thing that later on if you need we can access it. Okay, now let's come to the table here. So if you see at the table here, it is mentioned like this. Sorry, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. So we have how many values we need. Yeah, we need let's see in the table. Okay, here we need name of the equipment. Actually no need to display the ID because here is just display for display purpose. So name, equipment model, release year, 1 2 3 4 5. So we need 5 columns, 1 2 3 4 5. So this one we don't need. So let's go and change this in view.php. So column 1 is equipment name. Equipment name. If you want to use capital, then can. Second one will be equipment model. Can I confirm quickly? Yeah, equipment model. Equipment model. Third one is release year. Fourth one is person in charge and description. Person in charge. And fifth one is description. The sixth one we don't need, so delete it. This is extra. Now these are the dummy data. Okay, so here in this case actually we don't need this dummy data anymore. So here I will comment all this. Okay, and here we need to connect to a database, read from a database the values, and then display here. Okay, so using the top this file, we are already connected to a database. Okay, so now let's generate a query that what type of data we want to display here. So we can create SQL a query $sign SQL equal to, and we can create a select query. So select from equipment. Oh, so what we want, select what we want, select name, comma, company, company underscore model. These will be the field names that we have used here. You see this one, company model, release year. Okay, these one we need. If you want to be very correct, don't make mistakes, then the easy way is like this also, that if you just go to SQL and maybe select, yeah, you see we can get this one also easily. This is just a technique that maybe we can put this one here. You see, let's at the beginning, at the end just put semicolon, that we didn't start PHP. Sorry for that. PHP, because the text is and this is closing PHP. Inside PHP we will type PHP coding. So select ID, name, company model, release year, person in charge, description. From equipment we don't want to use where class here. Okay, so this will be our query, and now after that we need to run the query. Okay, to run a query there is a MySQL function, or MySQLi function. Its name is MySQLi underscore query. MySQLi underscore query. So this function need two argument. One is the database information. We already have that one in a variable db in the initialize file. Okay, and the other one is our this query. So it needs only these two functions, and it returns true or false value. It returns actually the result set because it is a select query. It returns the result set. So whatever result it read, it will return as a table, like an array. So we should have a variable to store those values. So $result equal to, so whatever result is returned, it will be stored here. So we can actually put all these things in a if statement, that if this query runs successful, then we can do some operations. Okay, so like this. And okay, if this query runs successfully and we got this result, then we can read all these values from the result set. And actually this result set is in the form of a table like this. Okay, so exactly like the table in database, so the result set will be also like this. Okay, so let's suppose this is a table, so it will the $result, this $result is actually in this format. Now we need to read a row by row and display in the form. First row and display, then second row in display, then third row and display. So you see, it's a like two-dimensional table. So we need a loop to go through row by row and then read the column data by read the data column by column and display in the form. So how to do that? We will use PHP loop like while, and here we can use any variable like while $sign row equal to, and here you see we have this result set return already. So from this result set we will extract a row. Okay, so how to extract a row? This $sign result has a function. We will use the object oriented style fetch. Okay, fetch a row. Fetch a row. Okay, so this function will fetch one row from the result set that we got from this query. Okay, so once we get this one, okay, then what we need to do, then we need to dynamically generate this table rows and column. So how to dynamically generate? We will type echo, and then here we are dynamically generating. How? Let's suppose, you see, let's copy this. Okay, the row also. Okay, so this one, the row tr, and then td. Okay, and then this is the dummy value, but we don't want the dummy value, we want a real value. So how to do the real value? The real value is $row 0. Okay, so the $row 0 and then dot um, this one. So you see tr row started, then td, and then concatenation. You see this is one piece of text, concatenation with the value, the first column from the first row, and then closing td. Okay, closing td. And next one we need in the same way, but the second column. Okay, second column will, here will be no row yet because it is just a column. So this should be second column. Okay, and should be third column and fourth column and then fifth column. So we have five columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So fifth column completed, and let's close the tr now. Okay, so tier completed, sorry, closing tier. Okay, so one row completed. So this while loop will extract first row and display here, then loop again, extract another row and display here, loop again, and in this way it will display all the values for us, and the rest we don't need once it is completed. So then it will be the table heading will be completed. Yes, the only one thing that we need, that you see we are connected to the database here, so we should just close a database. Okay, after I think should be after the table. Okay, so when the table everything done completed, here we can close the database. So to close database, we need again a small block of PHP, and in this small block of PHP we will simply call what? $db dot db and the object oriented style close. Okay, so now the database closed. So if we go to this one now, you see it is a dummy data, but if I refresh now, you see if I refresh it, hopefully it will change to the this data. You see we can see now all the data. Oh, uh, yeah, you see the equipment name is replaced by this, so we don't want this. Let's check what's the problem. Okay, here we should not read id. Okay, we should not read id. Now let's refresh again. Yeah, you see equipment name, equipment model, release year, person in charge, and its description. And in this way we can display the data from a database. One thing more, sometimes the table has a lot of data, too much data. Then in that case, if you read all the data and you want to display here using a loop, of course, even if it is a thousands of records, it will display here. Then the page maybe become too big, and sometimes actually it is too much data. Then we should not read all the data at one time. So what we can do, we can limit the number of records that we want. I think the most maybe you can limit like 10 or 5. It's up to you. So limit how much you want. Let's suppose in this case we want 5. So if we want only 5, so if you go here, so you see it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. But if I refresh again, then it will be only become 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so in this way we should read some of the data. It depends on the requirement and the problem that you are dealing with. And now if we want to update or delete this data, then we have a page for this here, edit delete inventory, but we didn't change it yet. So if I click this one, you see it will display the old dummy page like this. So now let's come and change this one. So let's go to update delete dot php. Okay, the same one. So go to update delete dot php. Okay, so here I have changed all these. Okay, so now let's go to the very top, and first of all connect to a database. Start a php block. Okay, start a php block. So here I will just copy from here. Yeah, the beginning part. Let's copy once again. Copy and add delete php here. Okay, now you see here these dummy data we need to read again from a database, and the actual data should display here, and this update delete facility we will apply. So let's go down. So you see these are the table here. So here we can change equipment number. This time we need the number, because later on when we apply update and delete, you know that update and delete should be based on specific id, otherwise it will update or delete all the data. So this is why we need the equipment number and equipment name. Next one is what? Equipment name, model, year, person in charge, and description. I'm just copying for easy remembering point of view. Okay, that I should just remember, then I will delete later. Okay, so then next one is equipment model. Equipment model. Next one is a release year, and next one is person in charge. Person in charge. So we need one extra. We need one extra copy and paste another one, and here will be the description. Okay, now no need of this anymore, delete. Okay, and after that yeah, this is the data. Okay, so this will be the table heading, and after that table body starts. Okay, and in the table, here we need the update delete also. Okay, update and delete. So we already completed the heading section. Okay, this is this heading section, this one. Okay, if I refresh this one, it will change. You see, equipment number, equipment name, model year, person in charge. Now this data should also be according to this one. Okay, so let's change this one now. So to change this one dynamically, we need actual data to read from a database and then display here, and dynamically create this button also. Okay, so I will uncomment, I will comment all these here, and now we again need to connect to our database and read the values from there. And we have already done this in a view.php. If you see here, I think it's almost the same. So I should just copy to save time and later on modify. Okay, so a PHP block, and this will read a data name here. This time we need ID also. This time we need the ID also, because the ID we need for don't forget the comma, for the update and delete purpose. So name, company name, year, release, everything. Let's remove the limit for the time being. Okay, so then run the query and display here trtd. So the first one, yeah, so here will be ID and name, equipment model, equipment yeah, equipment model, and release year, person in charge, and then we need one more, one more. This should be 4 and this should be 5. Okay, so we have 6 now. 1 2 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah, it is okay now, but we no need to close the tier now, because this tier we need to end at the end of the row. Yeah, at the end of the row. I think we no need yet. Okay, let me put outside for a while, because we need to dynamically generate the update and delete buttons also. Okay, so you see, if we look at this, you see these are the HTML code to generate this. Okay, so echo, I will put just like this here. Now td href. So here, this one, first we need to update. So this should go to update.php. We don't have update.php, we will create it. Okay, we will create it. So ahref update.php, and then the update button. Okay, it will send a value also. Okay, because which value, because you see now this time when we are submitting through href, then in this case the value will be submitted to the form, to the page, using post, using get, not post. Okay, so it will be submitted to this page as a $_get array, but it will send data. So what data should be sent, we can put dynamically. So this one should be close this text at this time, concatenated. What we should put the ID here. Okay, and it will send what, equal to update ID. Update ID equal to this value. Okay, and then again close this concatenation and close this, and let's see where is the problem. Okay, update.php ID equal to this. Oh, two dots. Okay, so this will close this, and there it is. Let me check that is it working. Let me refresh. Yeah, you see all the data come in here now, and only the update button is created. We didn't create it yet the delete button. Okay, so let's create the delete button also in the same way. Just copy this and paste, and here this one should be delete.php, and it should send delete ID, not update ID. delete id, and the same value, and here should be delete. Okay, let's refresh again and see. Yeah, you see we got update and delete both. Okay, so in this way also we can update, delete, and here in the template we already have for update and delete very nice buttons. So if you want to create this type of update and delete, so we can actually easily create this one. How? The code is already there, no need to learn and no need to memorize. So we can easily go here and we can cut this coding. You see, button td equal to success, that the type submit we will delete later. Okay, this one until the closing button. So let's copy this and paste here. So here you see this text we need to replace by that button coding. Okay, so this one, the update, I will replace by that button coding, and here I no need of this submit anymore. Okay, so this time if I refresh, we can see, you see, all the buttons are created now. So in the same way we can change the delete button also, because the coding is already there, easy to copy. So that coding starts from here, this new button. See, this button, from here also we will cut the submit until the closing button. Okay, so let's go back and put this one also. Oh, Control Z. This one, sorry, here, put here, and you see here we should put the closing tier also now, because the row completed at this point. Okay, the closing tier, and no need of this submit type. If you want, you can. Yeah, now let's check again. This delete button will also replace like this one. Let's refresh. Yeah, you see we got a nice delete and nice update buttons. Okay, now if we click this one, it should go to php update.php. Okay, it should go to update.php. Let me just try. You see, it went to update.php. Okay, and it already sent the update id equal to 1. So meaning to say we can actually update on the basis of this id. Okay, let's check second one, that it sent the second one. You see, second one. Okay, third one and third one, and in the same way it can. Oh, here is 4. Why there is no 3? Let me quickly confirm. Yeah, no 3 is here. Okay, no problem. Let's check the delete button, that it is also working like that. Yeah, it goes to delete.php and id. And if we go to click second one, yes, delete.php and delete id second. So we can do this one in this way, very nicely and very easily. So the first, after completing these buttons, everything in this update delete.php, so now we can apply this update operation and delete operation. So how to update apply the update operation? Let's look at the coding here. We have this is a update delete.php. Here you see I changed this one. Yeah, this one should go the update button. When we click the update button, it should go to update.php and it should send the id. Okay, it should send the id. So when it go to then now we will have to create update.php. So to create update.php, let's just how to create, just quickly say where's this add.php as a update.php. Okay, update.php. So we already got update.php. Okay, we will change this coding. This is the previous coding in add.php. We will use this one later in we can copy paste from here, because it is already ready code. I don't want to delete at this moment. Okay, so what we will do, update delete.php, it will send the id. Let me just quickly check. Let's suppose if we click this one, it will go to update.php. Yes. Okay, so it send the ID here. Okay, so all this coding is, no, it should not go to yeah, it's go to update.php, all this stuff. Let's change the coding. Okay, so this is basically the add.php file, but I rename is update.php. So here in this update.php, you see the form is already start the method equal to post. The action I will change update underscore delete.php. Why? Because whatever is updated, we will display there again in the update delete.php. We will go redirect to that one, and if we want to update a new one, we can update, or if we don't want to update, and if we want to delete, then we will do that one also. So you see here the form will be automatically generated. So in this case, so the coding will become like this. You see in this case, this is the basically the add.php file. But here when the fields are created, we will check that if this ID is sent, meaning to say the update button is clicked. Okay, so then we should dynamically generate the form field. The form is already started here. Okay, so we will dynamically generate the form field. But if you remember in the add.php, there was no ID. So I want to create the ID, but this one should not be displayed. It should be just a hidden file. So you see we can create like this: echo input type equal to hidden ID equal to hidden name equal to hidden ID value equal to the result ID. So then this will be the result ID, and here the result ID I will delete it because I don't want to display it. uh, the user should not mistakenly change the ID value also. It should be hidden. Okay, and after that you see the name will be displayed, a model will be displayed, uh, year will be displayed. In the same way, what I did, I just copy the same code and add the value attribute and the value I extracted from here, from this query. So if we run this value, you see if I simply uh, paste this one, you see update.php, then it is nothing, empty. But if I come from here and click update.php, then you see all the values come here. If we go back again, you see it belongs to fskpm. If I click this one, you see it belongs to fskpm. All the data comes here. Now I need to change this save button to update button. Okay, let's change this one's name equal to update, and the text also update. Okay, so now we can change these values. Let's check again. Click anyone. You see now it is update.php. So if I click anyone, let's suppose for the 2001 I change to 2002. To be very clear, let's just for the time being put several to be just obvious. And if I click this update button, okay, it will go to, oh, you see this one I should change. You see, okay, when I was clicking this update button, the form is not going to update delete.php. Then I found that actually there was a typing mistake. You see double T action. So this should be single T action equal to update delete.php. So if I try this one now, let's suppose I'm not updating yet, just checking. So update.php. Oh, sorry, refresh it properly. And now change this to something and update.php. You see now it goes to update delete.php. So in this update delete.php, at the beginning we will put some coding to apply the update operation. Here we should cut this coding. Maybe we can use it uh, uh, from here and go to update delete.php. At the very beginning here we can use it. Let's see what. So this one is update. If is set $post update, then we should create a array, and and here we need one more variable, which is actually the hidden field with equipment ID. I should use ID. Let's check. So here in update, what name I have given? Name equal to hidden ID. Okay, so update delete hidden ID. Okay, so in this way we create an array ID, we put equipment name, equipment model, everything we get from this and put here. Here we will not call the insert equipment, we will call the update equipment. Update equipment. This function we will call, and it also accept the same array. Equipment ID. Oh, here you see the here the word is used ID. Okay, so we will also use this word there. So here, yeah, it is okay, ID. So we will call this update function, equipment ID, and this equipment ID on, yeah, just update ID. If it is returned true, then we will say the form is successfully updated. Okay, and after that, if updated, you see we are at update delete.php, then should not redirect to any other page. Otherwise, if it is not successfully updated, then we will change back one level, meaning to say the same update.php, so we can re-update. So let's see that is it working or not. Okay, so now I want to use this one. You see this missing guy. So I will click this. You see the person in charge is missing. I will type the missing person. Okay, the missing person. So if I click update, yeah, update didn't work. Let me check why it doesn't work. But the problem is that you see this button don't have any name, and we are checking here as update. So let's give a name to this button. Type equal to submit, name equal to update. Okay, now this time let's check again. Refresh the missing guy, the missing person, and let's click update. You see the record successfully updated, and you see the missing guy is inserted now. So in this way the update will work. Let's quickly summarize the update operation once again. So we designed this update delete page already. So if we click any of this update button, for example, let's suppose this one again. So if I click, you see in this update delete, it goes to update.php. Because in the coding here, you see this, when we were creating this buttons dynamically, so here we put that it should go to update.php. So if you go to update.php, here we are checking dynamically that if this update ID is set, then read from a database, find this ID, and once we have, then we create the whole form dynamically. We just add one thing more as a hidden field, because the in the update field, if you see here, yeah, if you see here, we are not displaying the ID. Why? Because the user should not mistakenly update the ID also, because the ID is unique. Okay, this is therefore we are not displaying here, but the whole depend is on the ID. This is why we want to store as a hidden field, and let run send to the query. Okay, so this one we put as a hidden field, and the rest of the fields I just copy paste from the template and put the echo. And one thing, if this update ID is already there, then the value should be dynamic, and if it is not there, then the same form, empty form, should be displayed. Okay, now if we have this field, now you see this person, let's go to update delete and click this one, the missing person. You see this one, and this field is updated. Let's click update. Yeah, I'm successfully updated, and we come back to this. So how it works, let's go to you see this is the form, and the form method equal to post, and it goes to update delete.php. All these data will be copied and will be stored in the $_ post array. So and this will be submitted to update delete.php, and in update delete.php, at the beginning we are checking that if the update button is clicked, then read all these values from the update $post array and create another array, and then call the function update equipment and send the array as a argument. And this is this function, you see, update array. So here we are generating the query dynamically, and then once this query runs successfully, it returns true. So if it is successfully run, we display a message, and we continue. We don't redirect after the JavaScript message. We directly go to the same update delete.php, because maybe the user want to update another field also, or delete another field also. Okay, so Otherwise, if it is not successfully deleted, then it should go back one, meaning to say to the same update.php to re-update. So it works like this. And now to apply the delete operation, it is very easy. So let's go and apply this one. This is the update delete.php file. Let's look at the coding of this update delete.php. And here we are creating the buttons dynamically. You see, when the delete button is clicked, then it will go to delete.php. But where is delete.php? I should just save as this update.php, go to save as and make it as delete.php. Save as. Okay, in this case, at the top we will check again exactly like this. Like update delete.php, we can check like this. Yeah, let me copy this and go to delete.php. Okay, but here it is not post, because if you see here, the buttons are by reference. Okay, now by get method. Okay, it is not post method. Okay, so it is get method. Then we can change this one from post to get. If $get, and what value? The update id, delete id. Okay, if this delete id value is there, then we should get the value. Okay, actually we can let's check that the query function is working. How? Delete delete equipment, it only needs id. Okay, so if only needs id, let's get the id only. Dollar sign, no need array, no need complete array. Dollar sign id equal to, and let's get the first value only. And this will be dollar sign get. Yeah, let's just dollar sign underscore get this id. Okay, the rest we don't need, delete it. Okay, this should be in single quotes. Update, delete. Now no need update equipment, we need delete equipment. So this one, copy, paste, and we need to send this id. Okay, it will return us true value if the query successfully run. So if the query successfully run and the result is true, then we will say the record is successfully deleted. Okay, and if deleted, then the page should go back to the same update delete.php, and that is one page back. So this is why one. Okay, if it is not successfully deleted, again it should be like this. Oops, the record not deleted, and in that case also it's go back one page. Actually this one, the rest of the coding, actually we no need. Okay, because in case of delete, everything whatever we need is this. Okay, so let's check, go back to this. Let's go, this field is updated. Let me click delete here. Record successfully deleted. Okay, let's check and delete this this item. Is the mouse, and the person is anyone. There is all my name, but only this one. So let's see, click this one, record successfully deleted. You see that one already gone. So let's see that the whole thing is working or not. Add new item. Let's suppose any equipment. Equipment model is, let's suppose, HP release year 2022. I'm putting many two to be obvious just for testing purpose. Person is in charge, me, and it belongs to Unimas, and save it. Record successfully added. So let's see that it is really added. You see, this is already added. Now if I want to update delete anyone, you see it goes to the cache, or maybe I don't have some value left there, the PHP and HTML. So you see this value is there. Now if I want to update back to 2022, you see that value is there. So let's update back to 2022 and click update. Record successfully updated. You see that one already updated to this. Let me update my name to be very obvious for the delete operation. Okay, this one I will delete. So update this, updated. You see this one I will delete. Okay, so if I click delete button, record successfully deleted. It needs just refreshment. Sometime it refresh automatically, sometime not. There is one function to automatically refresh also can, like you see like this. So you see this time is working. So these were all the insert, update, delete, and view, show operations of PHP, and databases. Hopefully now the concept is clear.